Welcome back to Sydney. It's the qualification for the semi-finals of the Women's Asia Cup. New Zealand and the Philippines will face it off. The prize is a place in the semi-final, and in addition to that, you are qualified for the qualifiers for the Olympic Games in Paris next year. So aspirations to win an Asia Cup and also get on the journey to the Olympic Games. That's what's at stake in this game. And New Zealand and the Philippines desperate to get on that Olympic pathway. Here's the schedule for the day. We've just seen a classic relegation playoff as Lebanon beat Chinese Taipei. The nightcap game at the end of the day, Australia and Korea. But for now, New Zealand and the Philippines will battle it out for that semi-final place. With me, Mark Clark, is Laurie Chiswick. Laurie, what can you say about the way New Zealand has started this competition, beating Korea? They've been very, very focused. At the same time, the Philippines have had to come back from an opening day mauling by the hosts to get to this position. It's a tremendous performance by them and their coach to stay focused.
Well, it is, and they had a couple of big losses, but to come back in that game 3 for them and beat Chinese Taipei 92-81 and set themselves into the position here that they're in. They've never been this position. They've always played in that relegation game, so this is very exciting for them and something that they'll want to really try and challenge that New Zealand team.
Well, for many, many years, the Philippines men's team has been a major player in Asia basketball. They're going to host the World Cup finals in October, and now their women's program stepping up to that level on a regular basis. Great things for Philippine basketball. But New Zealand, you know, and Coach Malloy, what a job they've done.
Oh, there's so much on the line for them today. They really worked hard to set themselves to be in this position, to get themselves in second spot in their pool and cross over with the third place Philippine team. They haven't been to an Olympic Games since 2008 in Beijing. So they want to make sure that they get into that semi-final tomorrow and secure a spot at that qualifying tournament in February.
Well, we'll refer to that a lot, I'm sure, as this game develops. But for now, we'll stand for the national anthems here in the arena, and we'll be back to talk after the national anthems of Philippines and New Zealand.
Please remain upstanding for the national anthem of New Zealand.
Well, staff and players, both teams exchange those mementos of this game. And for both sets of players, the prize is definitely worth remembering. Place in the semi-finals of Asia Cup. The third team on the floor, though, Paul Saigem, Vaughan Maybury, and Chang Win Leong from Lebanon, Australia, and Singapore, respectively, take charge of this qualification game for the semi-final, just like a quarter-final to all intents and purposes. And Philippines basketball is just, it's the biggest sport in the country. It's, the expectations are always high, and they must be just willing, this team, to do well.
Well, they are, and there was a lot of, you know, support for them when they won that game to qualify for this, and they're wanting that, you know, they're playing for their country, they're playing for themselves, their coaching staff. This is a big moment for them. Most of them will never have reached this stage, and it's a, you know, I'm sure they're nervous, but they're also really proud of what they've achieved so far. They have nothing to lose going into today's game. They're, you know, farther than they've ever been, and so they'll want to still do well. They'll still want to push New Zealand and see just how far they can actually go.
Well, they're the 42 ranked team in the world. Here's the starting lineup. Vanessa de Juice has attracted a lot of the attention, but they've really, this team can score.
Well, this is, they sort of have the big three. De Jesus, Bernardino, Anaman are really key players, and their starting lineup has been exactly the same. But they've got, like other teams, some good energy off the bench, and Castillo has been one of those players that has come off the bench and been really impressive.
Well, Patrick Henry Aquino, anytime you go into these competitions, you know, bouncing back after defeats is a key part. Obviously, he's done a great job at getting them to this point. They're going to look at the starting lineup for New Zealand, and well, we thought on day one that they had a shallow rotation, but since that, lots of people have come off that New Zealand bench and really contributed.
And they've been steady with their starting five, other than for that second game when they rested Davidson and Tupaya just because of the massive minutes that they played in the game. But they've got a good starting group, good, strong. They've got their great shooters led by Charlize Ledger-Walker. She's been a real revelation this tournament, very consistent in all three games. Stella Beck's really rock solid with there, and then we've got the shooting, the inside presence of Davidson. And Reed, too, has taken us a little bit by surprise.
Well, she was exceptional. I think one of the difference makers in that big defining win over Korea on day one. Inside, outside, good athlete, makes things happen. But it's, as Coach Malloy, we saw the practice before the tournament, was a little bit concerned about their experience, but they've grown as a group over the 3 games. So trouble is now the expectation level's a little high.
That's right.
So his last minute instructions, and similarly, the Philippines are just about going to make their way out after their last moments with their coach. There's the TISO countdown to tip off 1 minute before this qualification game will get underway. And huge prize, as I say, semi-final of Women's Asia Cup, but also a spot in the qualification tournaments for the Olympic Games. The only way for a team from this region to get there is to get to the top 4 in this competition. And every region is doing it at the same time. Europeans have just done it, and the America Cup just about to get underway. So everything to play for. The primary prize, though, is a place in the semi-final of Women's Asia Cup.
I'll be interested to see if Talia Tupaya can come out and fire the ball the way she did against Lebanon. 20 points, 6 from 9 from the three-point line.
Oh, what a game she had. So there she is, Talia Tupaya. Strong, she's carrying and protecting that shoulder injury. Didn't seem to worry her when it came to shooting the 3-ball the other day. But
and this is the first time she's represented New Zealand on the international stage. She did represent Australia, but right now it is all about her and New Zealand.
That's on the way up. I think we might have to jump it again. So wherever you're joining us from, whichever part of the world you're joining us here in Sydney, welcome. New Zealand in the white, the Philippines, the Gilas in the blue. And New Zealand just having a look. Tupaya takes the corner away and doesn't get the two, and that was a little too easy in some ways, but she blew the layup, and the Philippines dodge a bullet. Beautiful move to the ring, and they just gave her the middle.
Great way for her to start, and we know that she's capable of shooting the three, pulling up, or getting to the rack like we just saw.
Ledger Walker. And our concern, as we have a look at that straight down the middle, that will not please Coach Malloy giving up the middle, but our concern was, what defense they would play, and they challenged the shot and their zone there, challenged lanes. Tapiri's short, great rebound. Reed goes to work on the glass. No one put a body on her at all.
And certainly across the board, New Zealand have the height on them, so it'll be interesting to see if they utilize mismatches, or in that instance, the O boards.
Great offensive rebound. The man goes back up and gets the two. Reed again being aggressive. Beard turns the corner, nice pass. Davidson for two and blows it. And there must be some nerves out there. Great hands. And one thing's for sure with Stella Beck, never stops working. Reed catches it, goes strong for two is good.
Now, isn't that just a classic example of just catch and go? Your defense is closing out. They don't have a chance with that.
Absolutely.
Great, strong finish.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Early pick and roll. Zhu stops and pops and fires it up, doesn't get the roll. Not a lot of time with the ball if you're a Philippine fan at the moment. Penetration and foul, and they've given two shots. Is that two for Reed? And you missed the bit that you pointed out, because by the time the camera had called her, she'd already ripped it through and gone. And simplicity itself, all about the decision. Ledger Walker on the free throw line. I love the way you mentioned it. Ledger Walker's had a great tournament.
Well, she's been consistent every single game. You know exactly what you're going to get from him, averaging 15 points in the last 3 games, 4 rebounds, assists. She's just steady, but Philippines can't afford to throw the ball away like that.
Spear does a great job of getting back, protecting the ring, reading the play. Reed going baseline. Beck attacks, sharing it, goes to the inside. Davison going baseline, tries to get an angle. Reverse layup is no good.
Good defense by Aneman there. Just kept her hands out, kept her body straight.
Ball's knocked away, ball's on the baseline. It will go back to New Zealand. But that's back-to-back turnovers by the Philippines. And if they've got a chance, they can't give up possession to New Zealand that easily.
They might just need to slow down a little bit just to make sure that it gets through the right people's hands.
Reed. You can see the issues they have size-wise.
Yes.
Davidson down low, going to work, tries to step through, soft touch. Such a good finisher around the ring, and another turnover. That's 3 turnovers in less than 3 minutes. Now, Ledger Walker does exactly the right thing and goes up strong.
And you mentioned it, really, you cannot afford unforced turnovers. They just look a little bit anxious in trying to get the ball and you know, feel that pressure of putting some points on the board.
Yeah. And if it carries on, you would hope or expect perhaps coach will take a timeout and just remind them that, you know, they have nothing to lose. They've just got to go through what they've talked about before the game. But at the moment, they're giving so many easy opportunities to New Zealand. Ledger Walker to increase the lead, but surprisingly for her, misses the free throw. Into the half court. Coming in, has it. She has no pass at the moment. They've been all over every passing lane. She's going to have to make something happen herself. Now she'll kick. The open 3 is short, and she did a pretty decent job. Did Kabini, because she had no pass. And we've talked about Tyler Dalton in this competition. All over there's use in that possession. Ledger Walker outside, has a look. Davidson gets a touch. They're getting anything they want at the moment. Spins to the middle, blows it. And this could have been a much worse situation. The early shot in transition is good. No hesitation for Ozar.
No hesitation whatsoever. That's a good shot that they need.
Personal foul. Assistant number 21.
I'm going to get a look at this again, Laurie. Like, no rebounders, no anything. She doesn't care. It's an open shot for her. She's going to take it. Substitutions are plenty of them and often here.
Yes, that's exactly the way Coach Patrick Aquino coached the other day against Chinese Taipei. Lots of subs, sometimes 5 on, 5 off, trying to keep, I think, a fresh wave of people and that intensity up.
Davis just throws it away and then doesn't get back.
Kabinbin finishing it.
Two. I don't think Coach Malloy will be perturbed about the turnover. He will be perturbed about her not getting back. Reed pushes, draws contact. Well, you're going to get the finish. You saw Davidson, who hadn't moved after the turnover. Early substitutions as Tamilo comes in. Still only 18, and what a great experience this has already been for her.
She's played a couple of significant minutes, certainly in that game where players were rested, and then even in the final game yesterday against Lebanon. You know, and it's just such a good experience, growth. They'll learn. They'll next time they play for their country, they'll have this experience to back them up.
And Reed already having an impressive game, similar to the way she played in that big win over Korea. Don't forget, Korea and Australia will face each other after this. Great rip through. And Reed just plays super defense, stayed in stance, kept her hands out, and yet another turnover. This time, Clarine just turns it over, and turnovers are just becoming a huge issue already. Philippines showing some pressure up the floor. Ledger Walker looks comfortable. Dalton moves it back. Walker breaks it down. And Ledger Walker has done that to every team she's played against, including China. That penetration off the catch to that gap, very effective at it.
She's really strong with the ball when she makes that drive and puts her head, and whether she pulls up or goes all the way, she's really got control of the ball and her body.
She's back on the free throw line. The foul count is 5-0, and that's not any indication of calls being one way or whatever. The Philippines just have not played defense. Have reached and have found themselves already in the penalty. And we still have 5:40 to go.
I think that's emphasized when you play a better team and you just don't have the foot speed or the skill level to quite match it. And so that's when you get stuck sort of fouling on drives.
Great work on the glass. And then they blow the finish. And Ozar just she can't get it away, then pull it out. Tamilo is the release against the pressure. And this is a very quick lineup that the Philippines have on the floor. Chasing, looking to double team. Tamilo underneath, should and does score. Just play like you're 192.
That's exactly right. Get your hands up in the air. Don't bring the ball down once you catch it.
Ozar is no good for 3. And they're just going to have a phenomenal offensive game, the Philippines, if they're going to stay with this. Tamilo has it knocked away. It was all a bit sloppy. More breakaway points.
I love that from Charlize Walker, Ledger Walker, the fact that she sprinted to try and catch up with that, knowing that it probably wasn't going to there, but she put that effort in.
Oh, gets it off. Here's Dalton. Stop, the pop, the two, and we could have had that on record when Charlize Ledger Walker has it. She's so good at this. There's the screen. This is going to be the pass to Tamilo, though, and really does a nice job. So let's have a listen to this Filipino timeout, because they have been asked some questions already. They trail at 17-11.
Let's go. Hey, we gotta push. We gotta push that ball. Ay, hindi, tama. Hey, go. Si Ella. Si Ella. We gotta push that ball and make something out of our wingman. Okay, pag wala, why you have to go down here? Set screen na tayo, half-nil, right? Okay? Huh? Again, no double on. Okay, no double on. Huh? Especially on that ball screen on there. Make it happen, kaya solo tayo. Alright?
Take away the primary. Let's go. We push the ball.
We're making so many fouls and we're making them take free throws. Let's stop that. Okay, let's go. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Well, stop fouling and run. It's, but to be fair, that's the stop fouling one, absolutely, but they can't be a half-court team against New Zealand, can they? They've got to keep it a little broken. Jesus has it. She'll advance the basketball. Guarded by Beck. It's all static. Now there's some movement. And Tapia gets over the top of that screen. Pass has just got to be released a little quicker on that cut. 10 seconds on the possession. 4 minutes remain in the first quarter. A place in the semi-finals of Women's Asia Cup at stake right now. Vanessa de Zeus. Well, the foul line jump shot was there, but they'll take it to the ring, and that'll be a shot clock violation.
It was the exact right spot to be to receive the ball, Bernardino, but she just needed to turn and nice little mid-range.
And we've seen in this competition, she can score.
Absolutely.
Yeah. New Zealand trying to just execute their way through this. Just be solid with the basketball. Tapia outside with Davidson, little two-man game. Davidson rolls. Extra pass. Walker is no good. Great work by Davidson on the glass. She recycles. Tapia puts it on the floor. Tries to work away inside. Scoops it for two. Stops and pops from the free throw line. And they simply have to make those shots. Yeah, if they're going to be competitive in this game, it's a foul line jump shot that New Zealand didn't really play a lot of defense.
You can see there, Talia Tupaya just uses her body so well. She's strong, she's controlled. And that's really crucial that Anaman, number 10, doesn't get into any foul trouble. She's the tallest player for the Philippine team, and to go up against Penina Davidson or Reed, they need her height out there. They need her staying on the court.
Without her, there's not a lot of backup options, are there?
No.
Relieve the pressure with the pass. Davidson is the lighthouse. And again, if you put it on the floor passively, it goes inside, needs a pass, finds a pass, but they almost turn it over. Hassan gets it off.
That was really balanced coming off that. I like the look of it. Just created a little bit of space and then pulled up.
here, gets it back out to Crystal Ledger-Walker, who goes inside, and it's all a bit congested. And the ball's going to go to the Philippines. Does a really nice job getting her feet set, strokes it. But a little bit more under control that time, Laurie. When they seem to be under control, they don't have to rush. He just puts it on the floor. There's a whistle on the play. On the pass, so that's the first foul on New Zealand in this game. We're 8 minutes in. A lot of the pressure is on New Zealand because the expectation is they're going to win.
Absolutely, yes. Philippines have done a good job since that timeout of not fouling and sending them to the line.
3, the quick release out of bounds is no good. And Reed does enough as Bernardino believes that she was moved sideways, is the only way I can word it. But I think that Reed and her were just competing.
Well, look at the size difference, though. And Bernardino was equally as high on the rebound.
Great athlete. So, Ledger-Walker has it, gets into that little space again, finds the open look. It's really Reed's spot. She made a lot of shots there against Korea from that spot. Here's Dalton. Ledger-Walker again tries to get play in that space. He's blocked. And I think Davidson's going to be called for the foul. Really good job boxing out. Yasmina Holston really just put a body there. Just Davidson had to come over the top. Well, even though they had Tomedo, they don't have a lot of backup for Davidson either, right?
Exactly, exactly. And I was just going to make the point that New Zealand haven't had it just all their own way this first quarter. They've had to work for their buckets.
Stop and pop and good. Holston is looking nice on that pull-up. Really impressive. 19-15. Beck puts it on the floor. Nice pass, and Davidson all a little bit tight and frantic and a little messy for New Zealand. It's almost like they're playing against an unusual way of playing.
Well, I have to say, the Philippines play a little bit of a chaotic, unorthodox style of play. I mean, they're a little bit hard to scout because you're not quite sure what they do. And defensively, as they showed against Chinese Taipei, wow, they were just all over it and to successfully get that win.
Ledger-Walker finds Reed, who attacks it, has it knocked away again. Holston tries to turn the corner, crosses over, comes back the other way off the glass, doesn't get it to go. And Reed just played long. Easy too, and you have to defend the ball.
Well, you do. You can't just follow your player and say, I've got my player, your team defense on transition, and then we see you on the way back, an unforced error.
Yeah, Bernardino travels on the catch, isn't she? But as much as we like Talia Dalton, I've yet to see a player score without the basketball. And they just did not recognize where the ball was. Easy two. Still only a 6-point game, though, so for all our concerns about some of the issues that the Philippines have, they're still right in this. Davidson gets missed on the inside. Spear penetrates, is blocked. And
I don't think Coach Guy Malloy would be that pleased with that. You've got to recognize as players, if you're handling the ball and there's a switch, clearly your biggest, at least give them a look. Davidson was wide open with Ponteos on her back for a long time.
Especially in this situation, New Zealand have to keep Davidson happy. You know, if she's moving, she needs to get touches. Right, they've missed her again. They've gone to her now in traffic, and then it gets knocked away. 1.4 seconds left. on the possession, 9.1 on the quarter time. And you've got to say the Philippines have done a really nice job at steadying this after a very tentative start. It's just a 6-point game. If they could get a stop right here, they'll be very, very happy about the outcome in this quarter.
Well, they've just sort of put New Zealand a little bit off their guard. They're not being able to just move the ball freely. They just feel a little bit uncomfortable, and that's what the Philippines have to do. They have to play, you know, it might be a bit of scramble, it might be a bit of doubling here and there, get your hands if the ball goes inside, help down, but you know, they're doing a good job of that right now and really unsettling New Zealand.
Not really sure why we've got a delay here. 1.4 seconds on the possession. Dalton will go, ball goes in, Reed on the catch and release is off. And the Philippines do secure it, and they're going to throw it away. Tapia has 2 seconds. I don't think anyone's going to get it away. It was definitely after the buzzer. And that is a really strong finish to that quarter by the Philippines. They trail 21-15 at the end of the first quarter.
Well, as you mentioned, it took the Philippines a little while to settle into it. New Zealand looked like they were the team that was going to come out and just walk all over them, but and a lot of turnovers by the Philippines early. But to their credit, they steadied and you know, they found a couple of different options of where to score, how to score, and also at the same time unsettle New Zealand.
And they have some advances around foot speed, don't they? If they can break them down, they've got opportunities to get to the ring.
Talk about breaking down. Reed just punching it in and finishing that layup. So athletic is she.
But those scores that are in those best plays were all early in the quarter. And just love the way Philippines basketball is about being quick. It's about trying to entertain it. Yeah, I would 100% agree with what you said. A bit scrappy, a bit chaotic. But they have what they have, and they make the most of it. And
they do. They don't have size. They don't have superior skill level. So what they do have is the speed and just the ticker, the heart. You know, we're just going to go after anything we can and see what we can come up with.
Well, if they manage to get the win here, it would be headline news in the Philippines. I mean, it would be front page news, back page news, any page news. That they've got another team into an Olympic qualifier in the semi-finals of an Asia Cup.
Let's be honest, they would be rock stars over there. No question.
They have the possession of the basketball, 21-15 down with the basketball. Fajardo will get it into Oman. Juice is fouled as she came off tight, good execution, really forced Stella back to chase her.
Well, and the thing so two things, she cut really hard and Anneman was really strong with that handoff so the ball didn't get knocked out of her hands.
Ledger Walker doesn't care about that. She's going to reach in. Deep on the clock here, they're going to have to go up. The three is off. Ledger Walker comes down, but has a chance to push. New Zealand don't run the break with much conviction. Davidson, as the second trowel, will hand it off. Pierre drops it inside. And again, they'll reach, they'll slap, they'll knock the ball away, and unless you're really solid, they're going to break you up a little bit. 21-15.
Well, you look at the size of Kabinbin out there, and so she just moves around the court wherever she can.
Well, when they really needed someone to step up the other day, Tapia just stepped in, knocked down shots. She's having a great tournament. Ozar goes inside with the pass. I mean, nice second move is good.
I like the way Anneman's been finishing this tournament. I think the ball could be in her hands a little bit more, but she doesn't try to do too much. She knows her limits, but when she finishes like that, it's really great to see.
Ledger Walker for the easy two, gets the soft touch off the window. She just continues to impress, doesn't she? Ledger Walker might not be the quickest player out there, but she's super skilled. Foul on the play and gets a little bit exposed foot speed-wise. And there's that move you're talking about with Jack Anneman. Is it that she doesn't ask for the ball enough, or she just plays within the system? Because she looks like she should get touches.
Well, I think they're very perimeter oriented for one thing, and so she's not necessarily their first look in there. But you know, it's a two-way street. She does have to demand the ball. She can't just, you know, post up and hope she gets it. If she's in a good position, she has to demand it.
Just the quickness of. Okay, there's lots of people who'll be watching this game, Laurie, and they'll be, well, you've got to move your feet, don't reach. But this Filipino team has got quickness, get after the basketball, break it up and make it, and disrupt. Reed, nice cut, gets fouled, will go to the free throw line, and she continues to impress in this tournament.
Well, I think what they're also very good at is they've got really active hands. So, you know, if they're digging down, they're active. And yes, they are going to get some fouls. There's no doubt about that. We saw that in the first half. But they have to play like that. They're too short to not be able to play any other way. And, you know, they're effective when they do it. It's just, can you do that for a whole game, and eventually does the cream rise to the top?
Well, that's what Coach Malloy and the New Zealand roster will be hoping as they open this out to a 10-point double-digit lead. 8 minutes to go in this second quarter. Francie Hoss gets it inside. Aminin again, opportunity to play. A second move again.
That is nice. She just, you know, simple basketball. She set a screen, she re-screened, and then she rolled and kept Davidson where she was and got her in the air and a nice little step through.
She's still only 24 years old. I mean, this Philippines women's basketball on the rise. Foul as Tapiri's turned down the screen. Here's the replay of that second move again.
And Davidson, as we know, is a great defender. So Anneman's not, you know, she's up against some quality opposition out there.
Also checking into the Philippines, number 0, Castillo.
Castillo steps in. They are so interchangeable as well. It's very much like-for-like substitutions. Ledger Walker off the screen. He turned down the rolling Tamio for an open three. Tamio's going to rebound over the top. It'll be interesting to see how they're going to call this. I was going to say they can't penalize Tamio just because she's big and coming over the top. She's long enough to reach. Completely ignored her on that pick and roll though. Here's Tapir, turns it over, and they're off to the races again. 2-on-1 break. Drops it inside. Oh, what a block by Tamio. Way to get back in the play. Super effort. I mean, it's going again though. Super two. Great passage, great play. Both ways. Super effort. I mean, it's going again though. Super two. Great passage, great play. Both ways. Ledger Walker moves it on. Reed will hit the second side. Ledger Walker lines it up, can't knock it down. And they rebound as a team. 3-on-2 break again. The open three on the end of the break. The bench is up, the crowd is up. Timeout, New Zealand.
They are happy. And so they should be. What a run of stops and scores for this Philippine team.
Here's the Tamilo block. She's long.
They commit to the switch. There's a small girl, sorry to Tori, put the ball up where they can catch it and just finish. Passing down is not going to be the solution. All right. Okay, now, be really tight with the ball. Don't expect that you're going to get a call or a foul and then we can't stop, right? So you guys understand that. And in fact, when we catch the ball, we've got to be really good with ripping it and playing through the contact. So you've got to cradle the ball and then go to the basket strong. All right. Defensive transition. We need to be organised with our low because they're only going to score in defensive transition against us. So get really good with that. All right, now let's go back. Number 10's got 3 fouls. We're going to go back to 52 here. All right, here we go. Turn the scoreboard over. Let's go.
Well, you've made the point, they are interchangeable, so it's not a surprise they have a lot of points coming off the bench. They're just going to come in like for like rotations.
But I thought Guy Malloy's comments sort of reflected ours in that he's saying you have to be tight with the ball, play with contact, because that's what we're saying. They're trying to slap it out of the hands. They've got active hands. Got to be strong with the ball.
Ledger Walker. Davidson gets a touch, one-on-one in the post, going to work for 2.
Again, great recognition, great call. We know that Guy Malloy pointed it out that Ahnemann has 3 fouls, so go after her.
They're looking at each other. No. I think definitely deflected. Here's the play in the block. I think the lead official could have told his co-official. There's the touch, there you go. He obviously seen it, but there's no way that his co-official can, and could have just told him straight away, but. Bahrain will inbound the basketball. There, Jesus gets it off, gets it back, attacks the gap. Is knocked away, chance to run, and New Zealand have to commit numbers to transition here. Ledger Walker stops, fires up the 3. And then come the Philippines again. They're going to break it up and try and run from the 3-point line. They're at the second side. Nice drive on, they blow the layup. Clarine wide open, hits the underside of the ring. Ledger Walker goes upstairs with the pass. Davidson through contact for 2. Begins to assert herself on the inside. She gets to the foul line, has to move it on. Clarine thinks about the 3, turns it down. There's no way that Castillo was going to turn down the 3, left open. Ledger Walker protects, gets the 2 and 1.
Well, she listened to her coach in the timeout. She just tucked that ball under her arm and went straight to the basket. Tight with the ball, he said, and that's exactly what she did.
Apart from being very good, she also knows how to impress her coach.
That's right.
In fact, you made the point, the last couple of possessions, he told him to be strong with the ball. Davidson was. And then Ledger Walker with the strong drive to the hoop. Tough to play against a team like the Philippines who just play in such a broken way, though.
So one thing New Zealand haven't been great at this tournament, they're 66% from the free throw line.
They just stroked it when they get their feet set. Super release. And because they're going to take, you're never comfortable. Davidson can't handle that. They turn it over. Again, feet set. Just throws the defense a little bit. Here she goes again. Hassan moves it on. Castillo wants to shoot it. Gets her feet set, finds a little separation. Great effort on the glass. Bernardino just hunted the basketball.
They're just getting out-hustled right now, New Zealand, by this small little team.
Oh, again, back-to-back threes for Hassan.
We're back to a three-point game.
Too easy almost for Ledger Walker. She can't complete. Davidson's going to try and clean the mess up, but everybody's on the floor, and if it's scrappy, the team in blue is going to scrap as hard as anybody. This will be the back-to-back three. Little step back into it.
It's just a nice stroke, a nice release that she has, a nice follow-through.
End line possession with 9 seconds left. The end line possession was 7. And Coach Malloy was exactly right. You've repeated it as well. It's like if you're not strong with the ball, they're going to get after it. Davidson with a little hand shovel type pass, goes with a little hook, can't get it to go. That's a rebound from Bernardino to keep it alive, and she pushes. Spins in the lane, floater, she misses it. Great work on the glass, they turn it over. Shirada gets it and couldn't keep it.
Sorry, just second efforts out there by this team.
Davidson wants, Davidson gets. Now she's going to try and get an angle, shovels it to Reed, who's fouled, and Reed will continue to amount a personal tally here. I just love this Filipino team in the way that they're just outworking a bigger, more experienced opponent.
That was a nice cut off the ball by Reed. If she doesn't get the ball, she's there for the offensive rebounds to battle for them if Davidson misses, but it was a nice find by her teammate.
Reed gets into double digits and off the high screen for Hado. Feet set again, Castillo for 3, fills it up, and if you're going to allow people time and space, they are going to score. It's not about containing the drive, it's about challenging the shot.
Well, they're just falling for the little fakes. One way the body goes in, and Philippines are just doing a great job.
Tapia with a tough shot, doesn't get to go. She came in from out of bounds. No, the referee was right on the spot. Crystal Ledger Walker, nowhere to go. Reed wide open for 3, count it. Well, at the moment, Reed is getting it done for New Zealand. Step back for the 2 is no good. Tapia secures it, Reed has it, and they don't appear to want to run New Zealand. Now she's going to go to work, kicks it. Davidson goes back to traffic and blows it. Gets her own rebound for 2.
That comment you made about New Zealand not running, I thought that a little while ago. I thought they had a real opportunity for a fast break, and they just slowed it down.
It's, there's one team that's running on there. There's just one team that's going hard in terms of quickness. Got to put it up. A little prayer from the halfway line is no good, and Tapia clears up the mess. Crystal Ledger Walker will advance the ball. Out to a 7-point game again, but 2 threes would rectify that issue. And now they're in the passing lane. standing still. They're going to stop and pop the three. Castillo!
Oh, my goodness! What confidence is that? You have another player streaming in to do a layup, and you stop and prop and nail the three. Castillo! As you said, 2 threes will rectify that. There's one of them.
You just love the emotion. They play with such emotion and passion. And hey,
Up a dribble.
let's have a listen.
There's no screen. There's no lead. And then everyone else just watches and they get a three, right? We work hard. So let's work really hard now. We have to guard our yard really well. Multiple efforts. Keep the ball in front. Okay. Now on this play here, Crystal, you bring it. We're in snap. So come down, Charlize. You're this corner. Taylor's there. So get it. Look at Tarara on the cut. She might get an easy one. 10's back in. When we drive off here, Charlize, whatever they've got, look at that pass. We might pick up the fourth. And now I want high-low. So Tarara's going to flash. Look at the high-low into Pamina off the snap. You got it?
Try and get behind the basket.
Hey, we've let our defense go. We're not playing defense. We're not playing defense. We need a good minute and a half.
Stay on the ground on your feet.
Well, I'm sure that most people who've got here for this game was probably expecting just to see New Zealand roll out and show up and win. This Filipino team is just being phenomenally good at the moment.
That's what's so great about, you know, international basketball. The FIBA Women's Asia Cup right now is showing us so many surprises and bonuses, and it's wonderful to see.
Reed again will move it on. Dalton, who attacks it, gets to the lane for 2, blows the layup. It's again shots they're not used to taking. Needs a pass. Finds one. Excellent movement by Ozar. Has it knocked away herself. Now New Zealand have a chance to run. And the easy 2 on the break for Charlize Leger-Walker. Hao-San will advance the basketball. Little hesitation, tries to turn the corner. Wow.
She's putting on a bit of a show, Haswan.
Almost 0 defense played on her, though, in terms of getting to the middle. Still got to finish the play. Reese Leger-Walker off the screen, needs a pass. 5 on the clock. Dalton attacks it, is fouled. And well, this is I think the first fast break, initial fast break points for New Zealand on the game.
Well, and Guy talked about it in his timeout about there being no screening action, no movement. There's too many spectators out there. When you think of the way they played against Korea, they were in constant motion, the team.
Do you think that's because the Philippines don't do what they're expecting them to do, that they end up standing still? Here's the Philippines trying to hold for the last shot of a fascinating first half. Zeus gets in the lane, stops, pops, fills it up. It's just easy. That's just, she dances her way to the foul line and gets to 2.
I think she might have stepped over when she passed the ball in. Or maybe...
Coach is fairly confident that something happened that's going to favor him. And that would almost sum up the half, you know, that a weird end to the first half because they tried to make something happen. Isn't the simple solution just to have a look and then get off the court? Oh, there you go.
We've got the technology, let's just use it and see what the call is. And I think even Davidson, I think, has resigned that she did something. Or no, sorry, Charlize Walker, Ledger Walker.
When you're ready.
Right yes, there. Right there.
1.2.
Yeah.
1.2.
And again, it's
I have 1.2.
Excellent defensive effort of just angle. Jumping into the lane.
Angle, please. Perhaps
to see Vaughan is the...
Maybe if we can see the clock at the opposite end as well, if that works. That's a better angle.
1.2 seconds.
So when does it go in? Can you we see that angle again, just in slow-mo, please?
1.1, you mean?
It looked like 1.2 to me.
Okay.
We can just pause the footage when she steps in court.
Looks like 1.6 to me.
It's more than 1.2. It's more than 1.2.
We cannot put the time where she put. We need to put the time when you call. No. Let's take it 1.2 blue ball.
No, the ball came in. The foot is on the floor. 1.4. 1.4.
Let's go for a blue ball.
1.4.
They got there.
Yep, they did, and that's their job, is to converse and to talk about it, look at the film. It's just unfortunate there's always such a delay in the play, especially, you know, we've got now 1.4 seconds left, but you never know.
With the Philippines, you never know.
You never know.
Luna Ozar, just the amount of things that have happened because they've just done something. You know, she jumped to the lane and she stepped in.
Yeah.
And the Philippines are going to take a timeout.
You know what? I don't mind that.
No, I'm with that.
It's a 4-point game. If you can draw something up to get somebody to just catch and shoot it, go for it.
You know, on both, you know, New Zealand aren't in the penalty, they have fouls to give, but you'd expect Guy Malloy to take everybody out that he wants to keep for the game, but...
Vanessa, then for Kate, then another one, Luna again, for... Ito nga, Jack ka lang dito alam. Huwag ka lang makialam dyan. Okay. Okay, pag wala nangyari, Jack is just gonna dive down. Okay, ulit. Vanessa, Kay, and then Luna. Luna, just go away. And then Vanessa's coming, and then another screen. Huwag ka magmamadali. Don't pass the ball yet. If she's really open, take it. If they're gonna play zone, better for us. Go wide enough so that Jack can go there, or can go down. There, let's go.
Let's go!
Hey, don't throw this away. Let's go. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Together!
Hanneman has to be really careful. She's on the court. She's got 3 fouls. She can't set an illegal screen or push anybody.
Surprised she's in the game.
I'm surprised too. It's that's a pretty brave move.
Unless she is going to stand on the three-point line where she is right now, and Davidson's still in the game, so if she's going to guard her out there, then it maybe opens up some space, but Davidson should just sag off her, I assume. Here we go then, 1.4 seconds. It really is just get your hands on it and put it up right now. 0.9, just about enough time. Well, that 5 minutes could be well worth it at the end of the game. But I'll tell you what is well worth it, Laurie. That just goes to show with the right attitude and the right plan on the floor, the Philippines can stay in this. 45-41 at the half, and they're in a game.
Absolutely in this game, and considering the importance of this game, that the longer it stays closer, the more pressure New Zealand are going to feel. Scoreboard pressure, time pressure, and then you start hesitating, all sorts of permutations.
40% from the three-point line, 52% from the two-point line. Is that poor New Zealand defense or great Filipino offense?
Well, I think it's a combination of both, but it exudes confidence. It exudes confidence from that team, and I'm sure Guy will be talking about halftime about defense, that's way too easy, and they're just, they can't, you know, if they want to get to the qualifying tournament, get to the semifinals, they've got to really lift their defensive intensity.
Well, these highlights of that first half, the highlights as such are all Philippine highlights. You know, they made the great moves. They've got down on the floor and taken those open threes. And it's down to New Zealand to just impose themselves on the game.
That's, you know, that's the change that New Zealand have to make. They have to make sure that right now the Philippines are just, they almost look like they're having just a bit of fun out there. They're just playing loosely, they're shooting their shots, they're going in, they're getting hands defensively, and Guy Malloy recognized that and talked about being really strong with the ball and keep it tight. But Philippines, as we've said all along, have absolutely nothing to lose. There is no pressure. They've already exceeded expectations, so whatever they do from here on in is an absolute bonus, and they're playing that way.
Well, Howson in particular with 12 points. He really shot the ball really, in fact, apart from Anneman on the inside, it's all perimeter game and breakaways after turnovers. I love the fact that they're just disruptive.
And sometimes playing a team that is unorthodox in what they do can be really confusing because they're not necessarily switching at the same time. They're not doing everything according to the book.
Okay, we are going to take a break and we will be back for the second half as New Zealand lead it 45-41. We'll see you shortly.
Unique character. Unique chemistry.
FIBA Basketball World Cup is the peak of the game.
It's the toughest competition in the basketball world to win.
That is why I will be there.
Because when you win for one,
you win for all.
Help, pun. Penetration, the spin was good, finish even better. One of the best plays we've seen from her in this game. This time they're patient with it. Shot blocked at 10. She fires and she's knocked down another. Incredible shooting display from Mai Yamamoto, who's now 4 of 6 from long range. Exploring. Nicholson pass down low. Garvin working back door, adds another 2.
Great basketball in front of your eyes. The Women's Asia Cup. Oh, Mong Lee, the backwards pass to Han.
Well, we said before the game she was a massive difference maker, and she has that little bit extra that not every player has. The ability to create for herself and her teammates.
Anima, Bernardino Castillo from 3 for some space, and the air 1! That's a big basket for the Philippines.
Oh.
And then Tamilo again sends it back to New Zealand with that swat. She's feeling it. Victoria Tamilo says no.
Kang again puts it on the floor, attacks the space, goes upstairs to Park.
That's that pass you talk about with a big, get it up in the air, let her bring it in. Big smiles on their face, and you don't see that often from the Korean players. It's nice to see.
Legend Walker hesitates, needs a pass, finds a pass, Beck attacks it, drops it inside, Davidson is blocked, doesn't get the roll, and Korea will get the rebound, and they get it back, and Davidson puts down the 2.
seconds left now, or just under 10 seconds now for Lebanon. Harkle just puts up a prayer. Oh my goodness! Rebecca Harkle points to her head. It's all about mindset here for Lebanon. They are right in this game. Ron Lee puts the Jets on. Oh, how did she do that? Ron Lee just parted the seas.
There's your highlight. That's just a super duper move. Well, welcome back, everybody. Both teams now back on the floor here in Sydney. And I have to say that from just a very neutral perspective, you've got to be so impressed with the way that the Philippines have come out against a team ranked so much higher than them in the world rankings, a team with more experience, more everything, and they've literally trailed by 4. But they really have made this game be played like the way they want it to be played.
Absolutely, and the thing is that Philippines could have come out here and gone, look, we've played our grand final. We've gotten as high as we have so far in the FIBA Cup. You know, this is you know, New Zealand. The expectation is there, but they've come out and they've played their style of game. They've taken New Zealand right out of their style, and it's been successful. And they look like they're playing loose. They're enjoying themselves. The coaching staff everybody's engaged for all the right reasons.
And you know, often there's been some great individual plays. They've shot the ball. You know, Hosan leads them scoring-wise. You know, those couple of step-back threes, but technically it was really well produced. What they don't have, you know, their defense is just scramble after the ball half the time, and they're having to deal with everybody's got a mismatch except for Animan. And this is what we've got. This is what we're going to play with.
Yeah, and that's. I think New Zealand I'm sure they would have talked about defense at halftime, that it was just too easy. That you know, you've got to keep your man in front, keep that gap between it. They can't just have any easy shots. They've got to earn everything. You know, contested shots, no open threes, transition. You know, all those things that if they're going to advance to the semifinal, they have to be much, much sharper than they were that first half.
Oh, absolutely. But they still score 45 points because they've got so many advantages. But they stopped. The other thing is they scored a lot of those from the free throw line, and then the Philippines stopped fouling.
Yeah. Which is what they needed to do, and the coach at one of the timeout addressed that. And from then on, they were pretty good. They're very cagey with their hands, and when the ball goes inside, no, they don't have the height to get, but they just get in there and they poke at it. They you know, they dig at it as much as they can, and it's been really disruptive.
And the other thing, I suppose, you made the point that it would be the first time that New Zealand's had a chance or could make an Olympics since
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
And they've been in some qualifying tournaments, but you know, they'll look at the way that the structure sorts itself out now, and they'll be going, yeah. And that brings its own pressure.
Yeah.
They've probably been on the phone to everybody at home saying, yeah, win this game, you got a chance to do that, and you got a chance to be in the finals and everything else. And so that's a different pressure than they've had before.
Well, it is, and you know, as much as coaches, everybody says, well, you can just look at the one game at a time, and that, there's no doubt. They already know that whoever wins this game is going to play China. So are they thinking a little bit about that, and you know, not as much against the Philippines? Nobody's going to admit that.
No.
Because, you know, you don't do that. But this Philippine team has been ultra impressive that first half.
And you know, you talked about them, and I talked about being completely interchangeable apart from Animan, and
yeah,
she played with 3 fouls for a long time and played with a lot of discipline. So let's take a listen to Coach Malloy.
Okay, the other end is about finishing, execution, looking after the basketball. So when we're in flow, I want us to go to more shadow screens. So we're rolling out early, right? And then if we pass across the top, we're looking high-lows before we get into second side.
You want me to hold that just for a second, or just like regular get out?
Shadow screen, even just touch it and then get out quickly, all right? Because I think that'll open up a little bit of movement for us, right?
Yeah.
Be ready to shoot in these spots because they collapse when they see you roll.
So when shots are coming to us, because this, you know, there's a playoff game, so big shots are going to count. Like in anticipation, hands and feet are ready. You're eager to make the play, right? You've got to embrace that moment when it comes, because it's going to come for us. And so if we get enough stops defensively, because we kind of want to keep them down around that 15-point mark again, the offense will find a way if we toughen up. Right? Here we go.
Guy Malloy always sends a very succinct message to his team. He's very clear in his instructions. You know, experienced coach on all levels, and he doesn't, you know, he doesn't necessarily get, you know, too super excited. He's fairly measured in what he does. At times he has his moments when he'll you know, heat things up, but generally he's very measured in the way he speaks and articulates his points.
Well, that's there you see the QR code for the Courtside 1891 app. All FIBA competitions covered on that app. You can get everything about this competition here, the Women's Asia Cup, but all FIBA competitions across the year. And don't forget, at the end of the summer, the Men's World Cup in the Philippines, Indonesia and Japan. And at the moment, the Philippines are putting on a great demonstration of how well that country plays this game. First 2 points for them.
And we can see Kabinbin, number 6, is on the floor replacing Castillo.
Ooh. No, they're going to call that on the floor. The whistle had gone before the contact. But even that, Laurie just sums it up. Like, you made a good move, someone's dived to the floor, and oh, we're on the sideline. Nothing straightforward in this game, and the Philippines are doing a great job at breaking this game up. No flow to it at all. Here is Ledger Walker, moves it on. And I don't mind them taking time in the half court to get a shot they want. As long as they take one they want, that's normally a good shot for her. Ledger Walker, defensive rebound by Bernardino. And here come the Philippines again, a chance to tie or even lead with this three. Oh my word.
Oh my goodness.
5-0 start at the start of this third quarter, and there's some neutrals in here who are starting to believe.
Again, just simple basketball, a penetration, a pitch, feet set, Ponteos.
Ledger Walker will take the ball screen. Davidson, and they just do not stop hunting the ball. Got to put it up. Ledger Walker in a hole, goes sideways, doesn't get it to go. And if they do not start to understand they've got a game on here, New Zealand, they could dig a hole. Offensive rebound, straight back up, ball fake for 2 and 1. Bernardino puts an exclamation mark under the start of this third quarter. 1 to come, a chance to lead it by 4 if she knocks this down.
I have to say, the first minute and a half of this quarter is just a classic example about what we've talked about all game, the way they're playing, just shooting that fearlessly, down at the defensive end, just, as you said, hunting the ball, going after it, using your hands, and then coming up with this play here.
Well, Ledger Walker will advance it. Just got to take a breath here, New Zealand, get into what they want to run, but they can't just walk through the execution because there's so much speed in the defense. It's not talk about it any other way, really. Pick and pop, turnover. Reed had it, didn't get on the break for 2, and they need a timeout. They really do need a timeout called as Kabamin gets the 2, and I am shocked at that start. That is unbelievable by the Philippines.
I'm stunned, as I think everybody in this place, other than the Philippine fans who believe in them that they can do this. But right now, they are putting on a show in New Zealand. As we said, the more the time goes down, the more the scoreboard ticks over, the more the pressure becomes on New Zealand, not on the Philippines. And
if we don't get our ass down and guard, we've got an issue here. Now we're open. Taraz there, Medina's there, 3 and the 2. You need speed on your rolls. Any roll that you have, stay in the middle. We're going to come off. We're going to pick and pop this. When you catch it, second side. And when it comes back to the top, see if you can duck in. We'll look high-low. We're going to stay in the open. We need some energy and some stops defensively, because I can't give you too much tactically unless you've got energy. So reconnect on the floor and talk and get your butt down and guard. Score out of this open. Stay
And I would say out of that timeout, the word that I would think that encapsulates New Zealand at both ends, they need more urgency. They need to move quicker on offense with more purpose, move the ball player. And then on defense, as Guy said, energy.
Pick and pop. Reed to knock it down, and she does. No difference than the play before that she turned it over. Just this time did what she would normally do. Joss moves it on. Nice pass to the inside. Again, that second move, can't get it to go. Reed is having a game for New Zealand at the moment. Both ends of the floor. Ledger Walker will pick. Reed again, puts it on the floor this time. Gets some contact. Tapir for the 3 is no good. Defensive rebound, having a chance to run again, and they have numbers. 3-on-2 break to the corner for the 3 is good. Emotion is a crazy thing in this game, and momentum and emotion is a dangerous one for New Zealand right now. Ledger Walker, a little out of control, a little scrappy, and they get it again, and they turn it over, and almost you're like, okay, that's the way they are.
That's the way way they play. And it is hard to play against them, but Reed, she is keeping this team in the game.
This is the same team that were humbled, if that's the right word, on opening night against Australia. They have grown as a group as this competition has gone on. Tapia reverses the ball. Reed going baseline. And regardless of it's not fundamentally correct, you've got to love the speed of trying to get there and help.
And they're doing it together, so you can see them all, just the energy they're bringing there, you know. And if somebody makes a mistake, their teammate goes over to them and said, doesn't matter, that was good, we like it. And they're just playing like a unit. That's Bernardino's third foul, so that's she'll need to sit for a little while.
Well, you've made the point before, New Zealand's free throw shooting is not where they would like it to be, as Reed misses the first. It strokes the second. Pontios will keep it. Use looks inside, nothing. Pontios again turns the corner, blows the layup, and that's possibly the easiest shot they've had in this quarter. Tapia will advance it. They've just got to make it a basketball game, New Zealand. But no one's moving, everyone's looking and standing. Here's Listen on the inside is going to travel, I think, yep. And hats off to Animan for not even getting involved to try and foul.
Well, Davidson was working so hard trying to get different angles on her seal. She was staying low. She was working, battling out with Animan. And when you finally get the ball, like you said, everybody had been standing for so long. Everybody knew that that's what they were trying to do. I need them to see move the ball quickly.
And when we watched them first night, we all comment the movement away from the ball was great. Cuts when they made passes to people going down the lane. It's like a different team in the same color uniform. Ledger Walker to the lane for two is good. And here they come again at pace. The transition after the made bucket. It's just different. That's two layups they've now blown. The three from the corner is off. Tapia will bring down the rebound. And
well, that's the thing with the Philippines. When you play like that, you can't afford to miss easy layups. It's a couple in a row now.
New Zealand chance, and I was going to say I'm one, but the referee's right in front of me and says he was on the floor, but I wouldn't mind seeing it again. But here's Ledger Walker getting to the far side of the ring and gets there easily. Sideline possession. Dalton will inbound the ball. Ledger Walker going baseline, needs a pass. Gets it back, lines up the three, count it.
Nice.
Wow, she's taking responsibility right now.
She's difficult to defend. She is so proficient at the pull-up, the three, and the penetration. Very difficult to defend.
And Coach Malloy has gone to Dalton, who is his energy player. Juice penetrates, looks off the pass and goes up and misses the two. They've had 3 looks at the ring in the last 4 possessions. Ledger Walker needs a pass. There it is, but turns it over. That was a little bit more like the other day. Poor pass, but there were people moving. Well, gets her feet set on that play. Philippines timeout. This will be interesting to see where coach is in his thinking right now.
Well, the endeavor is good, but if we do things at
aren't practiced, no one can read off. It's like you screen for Luna right here, Vanessa's gonna screen, you go, and then dribble. So we got some action on the weak side. You see our shooters on the other side. Yeah, pass it to Jack first, and then you screen for Luna. Luna, make this happen, and then dribble handoff on this side. Huh?
So gigitna ako?
Yeah, gigitna ka. Go pop out, and then you get the ball. Dribble handoff for Vanessa, and then Luna just go roll. You just go. If you see that, go give it up. Go get that back door on that. Tapos Jazz at saka si Kate will be on this side. Okay, so you don't stop. You get shooters on this side. When you do dribble handoff, slide right away.
Slide right.
Oh, right away. Huh?
Execute, huh? Execute, guys. Let's go.
Let's go, guys. We're gonna make basket.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Together.
I mean, we keep seeing this stat of bench points and starting points. You know, New Zealand's rotation is short, and their big scorers are in their starting lineup. What you see from the other end is the fact that anyone who comes off that Filipino bench fancies shooting the basketball. Here's the head Jesus. Doesn't get it. Oh, Amino just gets in deep. She's going to go up with this. This is going nowhere but up. Turnaround jump shot off the glass.
That is a nice-looking move and shot from Anna, and so much poise. Wasn't rushed at all in what she was doing.
Edger Walker for 3 is good. She is literally standing up here and saying that we are not going to get into this hole. New Zealand by 2. Stop the pop. The good 2. Oh, you cannot. Individually at the moment, Hosan is looking as good as anybody on the floor. Let's Walker again in the lane. They blow the 2-footer. Defensive rebound by Andyman again contributes. Here they come. Hosan looks for someone else. Now she's going to start to play. Stop, pop, that's blocked, and they're going to call the foul. She's going to go to the free throw line for 3 shots. Here's that move.
They are just fun to watch right now. There's just nothing, you know.
They're a team to pay an admission price for. You would get value for money out of watching this team.
You know, and the fact that there's been 3 very, very gettable shots right now, they could be up by 6 or 7 points.
Yep. Well, 1 for 3, but they had the offensive rebound after going 1 from 3 from the line. And that's just poor, and someone in a white uniform has got to start taking some accountability. Amanin going up, gets the 2.
It's just easy basketball. There's just a 2-man game, pick and roll, strong to the basket and finish.
There's your Walker. Plays with the ball screen, gets to the bucket for 2.
She is up to 23 points right now.
Her and Reed are just point-wise carrying this team. Tough lab is missed. Great activity on the glass. Moving already before the shot was gone. Ozar has just been phenomenal on the boards. Jesus. And it'll be a Filipino basketball. Amiman wants to come out, needs to come out. These minutes are going to be crucial. Here is Amin again on the replay.
Well, I think that's a really good move, because sometimes as you get a little bit fatigued, that's when she's good. You don't want her to draw her 4th foul.
Well, if they can keep her out for the last 2:40 of this quarter and then the quarter break, that's going to be a real help. Blocking foul on Dawson. Both teams on 3 team fouls. Well, there's another game going on after, where Australia and Korea, where we thought that was going to be the game. We've had one great one already, and we're in the middle of a second one. Super move. Bernardino off the bench, straight into it. And at the moment, it's Ledger Walker against Philippines. Tobias fouled on the reach. That'll be the 4th team foul for the Philippines, who lead this 62-59 with 2:18 to go in the third.
I think a lot of people, including us, thought that at halftime the New Zealand team would come out a little bit different, a little bit more aggressive defensively, more poise on offense. But again, to the Philippines' credit, they are just making them feel uncomfortable.
And you've said, as the longer this goes on, as Ledger Walker throws up the air ball, the fewer options New Zealand have, because they're just going to have to tough it out then. Tipia almost fouled, baseline penetration and the kick. San stops and pops, he's short. That's an effort on the glass. Dalton fortunately stays at home and is fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. But
just Bernardino competing just to try and get a fingertip to it. You might not get the board, but can I tap it to a teammate? Can I go hard?
Taylor Dalton on the free throw line, and there's plenty of time left in the game, 2 minutes in this quarter, but they've got to start establishing this as a game, so make the free throws and get back and play some defense. She makes the first. Currently a St. Mary's College student in the States. Chance to make this a 1-point game, which she does. Substitutions from the Filipino bench as Castillo sits and replaced by Claire Lean.
Reed's back into the game, replacing Davidson.
I'm interested to see what happens now with the smaller lineup for New Zealand. There's Walker in the lane. Ledger Walker on the break for 2 is good. And New Zealand tick it over to take the 1-point lead. This smaller, perhaps quicker, small ball lineup by New Zealand might be the answer. Can switch much more aggressively, spin to the lane, and they're going to count it. And I am 100% with the New Zealand bench when you can compare that to the play down the other end where they wiped it off. Who did they call the foul on? Was it on Reed?
I think it was over that, yeah, on when she spun on her in the net.
Let's check.
That's a scout on Bernardino. She loves that spin move.
Yeah. Yeah, foul's called on Reed. Here is Reed going up and one.
Great way to respond for her team. Maybe a foul the other end that they didn't think she had, and then to come back and follow it up with a strong finish and an and one. It's exactly what this New Zealand team needs. She's up to 19 points so far.
Chance to give New Zealand back the lead, which she does, and she's had a game in all sorts of ways. Here comes the Philippines and Fajardo into the half court. Serrata trying to hold things together in the middle. That's overpassed. And New Zealand go and switch and give the Philippines a little bit of what the Philippines have been giving to them the whole game.
Well, we know Bernardino has some good hops, but that might have been a little bit ambitious. She tried, though.
Ledger Walker, who looks absolute quality. Gets inside again, tucks it in, blows the layup, and they just rebound as a team again. And they look to push. Hosan comes off the ball screen. Little hesitation, stops and gets it away. Doesn't get it to go. And the ball will go or stay with the Philippines. It looked like there was 3 white shirts all around it, but 14-second reset. Serrata was open. Oh, great pass. Super pass.
Wow, that was some miscommunication there.
Another lead change as Bernardino gives the Philippines the advantage. Galton. Reed stops and takes a poor one. Could have gone all the way and chose not to. Bernardino for 2. Spins, sets. Ledger Walker's going to get this away, puts it up, knocks it down and makes the 3 to end the quarter and tie it at 69 apiece.
Goodness. This is just not what we were expecting. Even this, you know, to sustain it, the Philippines to sustain what they are doing. They are on 69 points now. They averaged 61 in the last few games. I mean, they are... I'm not sure what to say.
I'll be interested to see. It looked good to me, but then again, we were listening again for the sound, which is often after the light goes on, and they've got to look for it. But at the end of the day, this is going all the way now. The Philippines are in that place where they're just going to play this quarter out.
So it's a basket. Yeah. You can see another angle for the line.
It's definitely a basket. They're going to try and now work out whether it was a three-pointer or not. A little bit unfairly, I would have to say that there are 3 guys out there, and I would hope they would spot whether it was a 3 or not. It looks to me like it's a 2.
Well, because you know she's going to shoot it. Yeah. She has no points, so look at her feet, see where she is, and see if they can get a shot of it.
It's a 2.
2 points. We will go for 2 points, not 3. We'll confirm 2 points.
Well, Ledger Walker has 30, and Reed has 20, and not many other people have showed up for New Zealand at the offensive end.
Well, I just, you know, I think about Davidson, and I think what the stellar performance that she had against Korea and the way she went about everything. And we haven't seen any of that today.
No, I do. It's one. I'm one of those people. As you see the quarter score at 69, 68, you can't turn it on and off. You're going to approach the game in the right way, or halfway through the first half, if they said, "Oh, they're playing better than we thought, we better start playing," I just don't see how that works. And Davidson. Now, they could run stuff to get Davidson the ball and see what happens. We're going to get a chance to see the best plays of that 3rd quarter. And there are plenty of highlights.
Oh, it was really basket for basket when it was tied at halftime and ends up 1 point to the Philippines. They traded, they got up by 5.
And they haven't, for example, gone and said, they could say, and it could make people look crazy, we want to make it a basketball game, we'll just run a 1-2-2 zone and say, okay, see if you can play against this. Because you can play against the man-to-man. But the trouble is, we're now in the last quarter.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you're almost like, oh, hang on, that's a big call then. Whereas earlier in the game, it's let's have a look. Now, Davidson is back. Of course she's back. And Tapia is the only starter that's not on the floor. For the Philippines, it almost doesn't matter apart from the fact that Ammerman is in the game, and she's played 2 quarters with 3 fouls, and she's done phenomenally well to stay in the game and be a factor. Here we go then. 10 minutes away from finding out who will go to the semi-final of the Women's Asia Cup and also qualify for Olympic qualifying tournament, and another easy 2. And it's almost as though they're saying, well, you've got to beat us. We're not going to let anyone else beat us. You've got to do it.
Charlize with Ledger Walker. She's the one to have the ball in her hands.
Yep. Jesus moves it. Far side of the ring. Turnover, much better from New Zealand because they did not get turned defensively at all. Ledger Walker. All the way, and she tried to pass it off when probably didn't need to. All three players defensively just backpedaled in the half court now. Pontios moves it on. Andyman spins, goes to the right hand, comes back, left hand hook. Doesn't get the roll. That's a rebound from Stella Beck. Dalton hits the corner. Reed for two, gets the roll.
She has done that so well and so consistently this game, where she gets that ball and she just rips and glows powerfully to the basket.
Philippines struggling a little here in this first minute or so of this fourth quarter, drying up a little. Where do they go to their points? The three is good.
That's where you go. That's the answer. Cabin Bin for three.
Cabin Bin was like, again though, they just played a soft read, penetrates. Dalton for the three to answer. The whistle's gone. And they're going to call a they're going to call a, what are they calling? They're going to call a they called a flop. Okay, is a flop. Let's have a look. Yeah, as long as she's been warned beforehand, I'm assuming she has been, so. Here's the replay of Reed. And Reed gets to shoot the free throw. Free throws, and three throws. Again, New Zealand's little Achilles heel, perhaps. Technical foul called on De Jesus.
That's her third foul, De Jesus.
Reed is the release. Great pass, extra pass. Reed is short for the three. Dalton again doing what Dalton does for New Zealand. Davidson will reverse it. Ledger Walker for three is long. Another possession for New Zealand. Ledger Walker puts it on the floor and is fouled. That's a second team foul on the Philippines. And how much do we like Taylor Dalton's effort? Every single game, she's putting it in, all the bits and pieces of blue-collar work.
That's it, that sometimes it's just the unstoppable things that we see out there that she does, but every time she hits the court, it's the same.
Ledger Walker protects, puts it on the floor, and she's traveled. And again, the attempt to steal the ball hurried her up, and it got messy. You just love the way this Filipino team, the Philippines are making this game be played how they want it to play. Here is Cabibin hitched after making the three. I was going to say confidence must be high, but I don't think it's ever low. Bernardino in the lane. Amanin gets the rebound. What an effort the ball will. And the referees are trying to work this one out. I think it's going to stay with the Philippines. And what an effort. Jack Amanin just.
And then the way they all, they all go after the boards. They're trying to get fingertips. There's just desperation at every step of the way.
Bernardino hesitates, head fake, inside out. The quick release on the three. And Davidson boxed out. Ledger Walker. Reed will hit the corner. There's no point going bounce pass in there. There's too many blue shirts and blue hands all over it. Keep it up. Turnover, New Zealand.
Who wrote this script? 7 minutes to go, all tied up.
14 turnovers for New Zealand. And they've all been like the one you just saw. Jesus in the lane, blows the layup. Another one of those layups that, if they'd have made, they would have had a 6 to 7 point lead. Beck. And they get another turnover, and the pass was far too close to the defense. Ledger Walker's going to sit, and this is crucial time for New Zealand without Ledger Walker on the floor. Or Tapia. The two main backcourt players for this competition so far. Here's Jesus, puts it on the floor, shakes a move, in the lane for two. Can't get it to go, but goes after it. That's a rebound, and cannot finish Bernardino, but she has some hops.
So what Philippines are doing right now is basically just sending everybody low away from the ball and letting De Jesus take her player one-on-one. And then Bernardino in there for that rebound, but that was her 4th foul, so she needs to be careful because they need her on the court.
.6:19 to go. We've got a new ball game, 72-72. New Zealand yet to foul, only one more team foul, and the Philippines will be in the bonus. But unfortunately for New Zealand, the way they're shooting the free throw might not be their biggest asset. Davidson, if they keep it that far away from the hoop, great defensively in the lane. Ledger Walker goes with the right hand for two, super little finish. 6 to go, 2 up New Zealand. And a man outside, Bernardino. Who would want to guard her at the moment? Kabambim gets inside. Great rotation, but Bernardino gets to it. Amanen gets it, we're gonna have a jump ball.
Possession arrows with New Zealand.
Well, she sat there and watched her sister take it to the ring. And that has been probably the most productive area of the floor for New Zealand when they've got there.
That's really on the left-hand side, too. A lot of left-hand layups are going the way of New Zealand.
Davidson again is the release. Gonna hand it off. Beck in the lane. Got to shoot that, surely. Davidson tries to reverse layup, can't get it to go. And Amaman at the moment is winning that battle on points, and Beck has to shoot the ball.
Absolutely, she does. That's putting Davidson under so much extra pressure. She caught it under the basket. That's a tough finish.
She had a good shot and gave Davidson an almost impossible shot. Amaman again. There you go. Wants it, beat the pressure, give it to me. Now they're into the half court. Vanessa is Jesus. And a man with some help that came along enough. And the miss from 2 feet from Ozark. 19 years old, Ozark. Couldn't get it to go. Here comes Reed, hands it off. Dalton will go high. Davidson, who's just not been a big enough factor here. Ledger Walker. Dalton just about gets it. Here's Reed down the lane. Floats it, will go to the free throw line.
And that's just been trademark of Reed all game. I mean, you would now go close out really short to her because she's going to punch it in the majority of the time. If she shoots a 3, well, you can change that. But right now, she's doing a superb job of getting to the basket.
Reed to make this a 3-point game with just under 5 to go. Strokes the second. Dalton, Oh, what an effort. Oh, Czar. There are coaches, and I'm one of them, that would say never let it go out of bounds. Take responsibility yourself, because Dalton had it and thought it was going out of bounds. And when we got a offensive foul in front of the New Zealand bench, and again, Dalton is in the action. This is unbelievable to say. Dalton's got it. Oh, it's going to go out of bounds. No, it's not. That's an effort.
Great save.
Back for three is no good. It's like one of those heavyweight boxing matches down the end to the fight where you're just toe-to-toe and trying to just tough it out. 4:24. The three is off.
And there's just so much at stake, because whoever loses this game, that's their Olympic dream or the chance of getting to the qualifying tournament done.
Ledger Walker. Got to get Davidson the ball. What are they going to call? They're going to call a defensive foul on Amiman. Yep. That'll be her fourth foul. Timeout for the Philippines with 4 minutes, 4:05 to go in the fourth. They're 3 points down, on the verge of a massive upset. If they could pull this off, they take the timeout.
This would absolutely be the biggest upset of the tournament.
Let's try to wala nang movement kasi ano kay galawan nyo, parang mag-dribble drive tayo. Hey, you know dribble drive? Short tayo, short lang. Stay in this corner, let Afril and Chucky do her works para ano, Angel wheel around, okay? Clear tayo. Defensively, pare, kailangan nandun kayo. Hindi ko pwede naiiwan tayo, Chucky. Ha? On that, ano, pwede kayong dumaan dito.
Oh, mag-under na kami.
Pwede, kasi, mag-under kayo para tumira sila sa labas. Okay lang, but you gotta go back out. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Together on three. 1, 2, 3.
Nakashoot tayo, match up.
Well, one of the greatest of all time, Lauren Jackson, now working with Basketball Australia, really trying to promote the female game. What a just phenomenal player, and what an asset. Amiman with a double-double, 12 and 10, sits with 4 fouls. She won't be sitting for long.
Big foul shots right now for Stella Beck.
Coach Malloy goes with his starting lineup. Everybody's back. 1 for 2 makes it a 4-point game with 4:05 remaining. And here comes Kabibin. She's got the foot speed. They have the foot speed on the perimeters. Where they help from. Quick release on the 2 off the glass. And Serrata's role is to spell Amiman. Well, no, it's not. It's to play and score, and what a great job to Pierre outside. Davidson wants. Oh, great defensive effort. That's a poor pass in terms of the time it took to get there. Watch this. I'm supposed to just spell my teammate. No, off the glass for 2. Cuts it to a 2-point game, and then came up with the deflection. They double Davidson and just don't give us space. Now Davidson doesn't get. Ledger Walker is blocked and will go to the free throw line. New Zealand with 0 team fouls.
It's a good strategy to try and get yourself to the get your feet in the paint. See if you can draw a foul, because you'll go to the line every single time because they're over, but once you get to that line, you got to do something with it. Just like that.
And they're so reluctant to throw the ball inside to Davidson because they haven't done it effectively all game. And 1 for 2, Davidson gets her own for 2. That's a huge offensive rebound. Tremendous work on the glass by Penina Davidson. A 5-point game. How big will that be? Castillo. Cabin gets it off. Osam for 3 is off. And now all of a sudden, Davidson becomes just a magnet to the ball, comes down with a defensive rebound. Can New Zealand just break this open now? They turn down Davidson again. Davidson has come out top. Nice look. Oh, what a finish. Oh, what a finish by Ledger Walker. She made something out of nothing then. Castillo gets it off. It's just been a tremendous minute for New Zealand. It's now a 7-point game. But as we've said a few times, it's only a couple of threes away. Tapia goes high, Davidson has. They're gonna try and use clock here. Takes the ball screen, holds in the point of the screen. Tapia for 3 is no good. Running out of options and time. And then it goes inside. Easy 2 for Bernardino. Timeout for New Zealand. Breathe some life into the Philippines, that 2. That's just an amazing finish by Walker.
And finally, a rebound, a strong rebound and put back by Penina Davidson, and she was happy about that.
Now, 2 minutes to go. There's a long way to go. A lot of possessions. Okay, we're not going to advance the ball here. So, Tarai, you take it out. Charlize, Talia, go to Charlize here. Bring it up. We're on 52 roll. Talia is coming off the pick by Tarai. Get a good screen and hold it. Legal. All right, now T, you got to get open on the catch. Hold that player off. If she's not open, dribble her out. All right? Now, hey, get the cross pick, Stella, Penina, fake low, come up and get it. Drive, try and hit the paint, roll. We'll get that look. All right? T will be here. Yep. 52 roll. Hey, we want a 3-point play. We've got to finish no matter what, then get our matchups down.
Still an enormous amount of time left in the game, just under 2 minutes.
A 5-point buffer feels like a lot because the game has just been 1 and 2 points back and forth. If New Zealand can come up with a score here, they'll just breathe a sigh of relief.
Reed will bring it up. It's going to time and possession now for New Zealand. Ledger Walker to the ring for 2. She's done that so well all game.
She's just controlling the game right now, controlling the tempo, controlling where and when the shots go up.
The 3, it's not done because Amino gets the offensive rebound and there's still a minute and a half remaining. It's still only a 5-point game. The Philippine dream is still alive. Tapia comes off the high screen. Reed, who's just been excellent. Inside out to Beck. Wrong person, wrong place, perhaps. Ledger Walker puts it on the floor, steps back for 3. And that'll be a Filipino basketball. Amino with that putback just keeps them alive. 1:03 to go. 5-point game. Need a score on this possession. Abibim will get the ball screen, tries to turn the corner. Turnover, and Ledger Walker probably has another fundamental part of deciding this game.
They'll just want to use the whole clock now. When I say whole clock, the shot clock. Wait till it gets down.
6 on it. Davidson, super power, block from Bernardino. Davidson hits the floor. There's still time. It's still a 2-possession game. They just need to score right now.
They need to get a 3 or a 2 straight away.
Great hands by Superior. That saved a wide open 3. 13 seconds, 5-point game. And the Philippines will take that timeout. Nothing would surprise me in this game. While there is time, there is still the opportunity for the Philippines. Let's take a listen to coach in this timeout. He's got one more shot at getting a quick one and manufacturing a second shot.
Vanessa, April, and Jack. Okay? Tita, at Kate, dito ka. Okay? One side tayo. Okay, Vanessa coming up, Kate going down, and going on that corner. You're gonna set a pick right there.
Parang elevator.
Parang elevator. Okay? Or pumat ka na dito, for Kate, okay? So Vanessa, they're gonna jam you out, all right? Yeah. If nothing happens, Vanessa's gonna be free right here. Janine, pag wala, April is gonna be here, or Jack's gonna be here. Hand off, tira. Clear? Let's go.
Only 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Together, and then who are we gonna foul?
Huwag kayong magpa-foul.
Together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Together.
Well, one last roll of the dice for the Philippines. They need to get a shot up quickly. Foul straight away. We know New Zealand haven't been that proficient at the foul line, but New Zealand will be hoping they've done enough at this stage.
34 points with 3 steals. Charlize Leger-Walker may, and it's only May at this moment, may have got her team over the line here. Got to get it in. We've got to put it up quickly to the lane. Spins off the glass for 2 is no good. And Dalton comes down with a defensive rebound. And New Zealand have toughed this one out against a phenomenal performance by the Philippines. Worth the admission fee watching the Philippines play today. They stretched and pushed and tested New Zealand, but went down 83-78. New Zealand progress to the semi-final and secure a place in the Olympic qualifying tournaments. Wow.
Well, the Philippines can do nothing but hold their head high. That was an amazing performance by them.
Well, people like Laurie and I will talk about, oh, teams could do this and do that. But what the Philippines did then was pure Philippines basketball. They were disruptive, they were quick, and they made some shots. And you would pay money. They are worth the admission fee. Super performance by them. Philippines basketball on the women's side, moving in the right direction. That's an amazing game, amazing performance. Congratulations to Coach Malloy and New Zealand. Sometimes I get a little worried about over-celebration to make a semi-final, but wow, he must be relieved.
Well, he came into this tournament with one goal in mind, and the first goal was to make that a qualifying tournament, to finish in the top 4. And he's achieved that so far. But you know what? They're going to go tomorrow and go, well, we've got China now. We're going to take this, or sorry, we've got Japan tomorrow. We're going to take this and really run with it and see where we can go.
Well, Bernardino was incredible for and led the scorers for the Philippines. But Clarissa Leger-Walker was just, well, let's just say she led this team in so many ways.
She was outstanding.
Yeah.
When they needed a basket, she came up with the goods in any way, shape, or form. She controlled the tempo. She really ran that team in the last quarter. And not only just ran the team, but dictated when shots, and she changed her pace. She got to the basket, she shot an open 3. she got the ball to the right people's hands at the right time. Just so impressive with the weight of the whole team on her shoulders, really.
Well, and she got great help from Reed, who the only other player in double digits for that New Zealand team. And those 2 points-wise really did carry them. But the Philippines were just wholesome with 15 points. Bernardino, it's not just Bernardino's points, is it? What an athlete. What a tremendous performance in deflections and everything. And they can go back. They've still got a classification game to decide their finish position. Their world ranking will start to go up, and it's in the right direction. All right, that's the schedule, the nightcap game. The game that everyone's talked about, Australia and Korea will follow this. But from Laurie and I, it's goodbye, and we'll see you shortly for that Australia game.